Today, we're going to continue looking at the 2021 Audi RS7, this time taking an in-depth look at the interior of the car. So we're going to be showing you all the menus, all the buttons, all the switches, and the seat controls throughout this car. But before we get to that, I do want to thank Paul Miller Audi, Route 46 in New Jersey, for providing this vehicle for us to review. If you guys are in the market for an Audi, new or used, please reach out to Nicholas Moy. I'll put down the contact information after this. They'll be sure to hook you guys up. We'll start off with the driver's door, where there actually isn't a frame around the window. It's a frameless window, so a nice design. Go here down with the leather, which is very soft leather. We have the stitching here. It's deviated to have a different color. You see, I'm trying to touch how soft it is just to show you guys how much give there is. Move down here to where the faux leather is. Going across here, this is an interesting carbon fiber insert. You can actually feel the individual fibers when you run your finger through it, which is interesting. Metal door handle, unlock and lock, metal trims there, faux leather again, and again back down to the metal where we have the set and then the two memory seat controls there, or should I say memory seat set preferences. Then we have our Alcantara sort of suede material here, very soft. We have the brown interior on the inside, which goes well with the metal. We have a speaker. Our bottom speaker here, which is the Bang & Olufsen. And we have our storage compartment, again, faux leather with our red reflector there, so when you open the door. This portion of the leather is the softest because this is where you're going to rest your hand when you're, or your arm when you're driving. Going on to the controls, we have our child lock, window locks, the buttons on the bottom there, and then we have our window switches as well as our folding the mirrors, moving the mirrors, and also to heat up the mirrors during winter. And we have our trunk release up and down, and also our storage compartment. This RS7 also comes with a puddle light when you open the door, and that's the Audi Sport badge with the little Audi symbol. We have an RS7 illuminated foot sill here when you walk in and you open the car door with that metal inlay there. Moving down, you can see how many layers there are to this black. It really gives it a lot of depth, especially with that side skirt on the bottom. Here we have our seat controls, which we'll go over soon. And we have this nice brown interior, really nice with the sport seats. So we have the RS badge there. The top part of the headrest, which we can't move, which is typical with the sport seats in the Audis. We have our shoulder support. And we have the nice hexagonal shapes that now have been kind of rooted in Audi design on the inside. We have perforations there. These are heated seats as well as cooled, so that's why we have the perforations. We have our leg extensions there as well. So we have nice bolstering there on the thighs, and then moving down we can extend the footrest or the thigh support. And here's our lumbar support, and then it's going to be the seat controls as well, which I'll show you afterwards. This car does come with RS7 floor mats, and we also can check out the Footwell here, where everything is rubberized as well as have a metal outside here. And then we have our hood latch here. And here we actually have brown leather on the right side where your leg is going to be resting up against. And here, just to show you guys the seat controls, with the control all the way in the back, if I tilt it backwards, the seat back goes back. If I tilt it forwards, the seat part goes forwards. This whole piece down here, I move the seat back, move it forward. And the very tip here on the top, if I lift it up, the top part goes up. Lift the whole thing down, the whole thing goes down. If I tip the bottom, it goes up. If I tip the whole thing, it goes down. So you got to make a lot of adjustments. And here's your lumbar support up and down to choose lumbar, and then in and out as well. And nothing for the blank. All right, guys, so sitting inside the 2021 Audi RS7, this is very exciting. This is the new one. I was very fond of the previous generation Audi RS7. So this is the door that we went over previously. On the driver's side, we have our seatbelt with the B-pillar. It's a very soft sort of vest type material, like a tactical vest. We have our handle here, A-pillar, the speaker. Okay, so what we have here, we have our driver's vent. Move up and down, left and right, and then we also can open it and close it. Closed, open. We have a nice carbon fiber inlay here, which is actually a nice feel because there's actually no lacquer or anything on there, and that's why it looks so textured, is because you can actually feel the individual fibers when your hand goes over it, which is very nice. So we have our lights controls here. We have our rear fog lights, our front fog lights, our lights, and obviously automatic lights are on there. So when I turn on the car, you'll see those things are illuminated. We have a nice metal trim out here. A lot of hexagonals going on. Here, if I believe, just like on the S4, we have a storage compartment. It goes pretty deep, if you can see. It almost feels like I'm touching the engine bay, to be honest. Store some stuff there. The Audi steering wheel, we have the Audi symbols here. Nice metal trim going on the outside. Horn, airbag, this is plastic material. This is leather, but we have a metal trim on the outside of that as well, which is accented here on the bottom with black inlays, and then we have RS badge here on the bottom, which is very, very nice. We have that piano black material here, so we have left and right, which will control the menu up front. This is just select to the main menu, up, down, we can press up, down, we could use the scroll wheel, we could return. There's also a view button. On this side, again, piano black, we have RS mode. In order to switch to RS mode, answer the phone, we also have our assistant here, so we can press that and talk to our RS7. Left track, right track, up volume, down volume, and then you could also press it for mute. In terms of the feel, I really love that they started doing these perforated steering wheels. This one's not as soft as it looks on camera, to be honest. It's decent. It's actually a smaller grip. It's not as beefy of a steering wheel. Still nice to grip onto because of the perforations, but it's not as soft. It's a little firmer than I would have imagined looking at it. We have our paddles here. It's a nice little cutout. Still mounted to the steering wheel. And we have our up paddle here with a little cutout. Okay, then we have our turn signals here, up and down, high beams, and one click down for high beams, just a flash. We also have our cruise control here, so we have on, we have set, sorry, on to resume, up to cancel, speed, if you increase it by, want to increase it by 1 increment, you move it up just a little bit. If you want to increase it by 5 miles per hour, you move it up all the way and it'll move up in 5-mile increments. The same thing for down. And then here, because we have the package with the distance, we could increase or decrease the distance that we're following the car with our cruise control. So here on this side, we have our windshield controls. So our wipers for the front as well, to turn it on. So we have slow, fast, faster, fastest. And then if we press it in towards us, we activate the windshield washer fluid. So the dash material up here is extremely soft. I think this is the softest leather I've ever touched in a car yet. It's soft over here, not so much here. This is still pretty hard. But out here is very, very soft. Not that you're gonna be touching it, but it's very nice in any case, as well as with the stitching here that goes across. Very, very nice. Speaker in the back. This part's hard, but this part's soft. I'm guessing there's nothing under there, but here it's supporting the AC and goes all the way across. We have our AC vents here, so same type of controls, up, down, left, and right, open and close. Same for this side as well. We have a nice little metal trim that goes all the way across. Looks very nice. It's interesting, usually you have the carbon fiber inlays facing towards you. This is, it's funny because it's laid up this way, so it's flat across. It only starts to angle down here towards the passenger. But again, you still have that textured material. There's no lacquer on here. It's just, I'm sure it's been treated with something, but you can feel the individual weaves. It's very nice. Metal trim going across with a piano black trim here. Quattro symbol, which we'll go over later once we're at the passenger side. More metal trim going down here. This is gonna be the new infotainment system. So the 2 screens here, and we'll turn that on in a second. We have our controls here. So drive select to switch to different modes, comfort, sport, and the like. Track control on and off, hazards, the defrosters, and the rear defrosters. Our engine start stop, which has changed a little bit. So here we have a black background with a red circle and white lettering. Parking cameras, a blank. I'm sure there's vehicle information. And here, these are the new sort of toggle switches. I have it there for the mirrors. So if I go here, the mirrors have the same sort of control. So this is just for the volume. We move the track left or go to the next track. Volume up, volume down, and press to mute. So usually when I covered the S4, I had my hand here and then my hand would rest here, but I guess you just move it up a little bit more. I guess this is more for the passenger, but it's nice to even have it here. But I remember on the S4 in the previous generations, you would just rest your hand here and be right here. So it'd be really, I guess you just have to move it a little bit more to reach it, but it's still nice to have there. Okay, so we move down. We have more of that piano black material, that trim going across, and that leather that I mentioned earlier. The gear selector with that perforated leather as well. Parking button here. And this is what we depressed in order to go and select our different modes. So reverse, neutral, drive, and then moving over it to the right for up a gear, and then go in manual mode, sorry, so go up a gear and down for down a gear. A nice leather boot here with stitching as well. We have a cup holders, 12 volt, and actually a very dedicated space for the key right here down in the middle. Cup holder, nothing here, but we do have our electronic parking brake here. It's really nice that they did these metal trims going around. It gives it a more updated look. More piano black. Go here to the center console, which is, again, that same sort of soft leather that we found up there on the dash and on the door. Just this is brown now. This interior does look really, really nice. Metal trim here. This plastic, it's like a nice plastic. it's like a nice feeling plastic, like a matte plastic. So we're just gonna lift. Oh, there's no button, you just lift it. And there you go. You have a space for your phone, wireless charging, nice felt material. Barely any storage, to be completely honest, there's nothing really here. But we do have the two USB-C right there. And just to cover the top portion, we have our mirror here, which does look frameless from far away. Not as big as a dome as Mercedes has, so a normal sized dome up here. We have our lights, left and right. Also have our sunroof controls up here, so back all the way, or you could tilt as well. Then we have our interior lights, door. This is going to be our service button, so if we have a flat tire, press that. Then we have our SOS button, guys. There it is. Red as ever. We have our speakers up here. Same vest material. We have our visor. Flip down. We have a nice holder for cards or something. Light up here. Move it across. There we go. And then we could unhinge this on this side. Move it across. And we can move it backwards as well. Move forward. And that's it. Okay, so we're gonna start going off and looking at all the different menus. So we're gonna go with the driver's menu first, then over to the center console menus as well. What we have on the left, we have our coolant temperature, or sorry, engine temperature, so cold and hot. Usually wait until it's halfway through. We have our warning lights up here, so your lights for parking, sure say headlights. We'll turn on here once you turn them on. Your check engine light, there's no check engine light, but that's just on just because I have the accessory power on. Your fuel level here, so all the way full. Empty down here. So let's see what we have. So if we go to view, this is the RS view. So we have, once the engine is on, we'll idle right below 1,000 or right at 1,000. And this is the new gauge that we get for the 2021 RS7, kind of sweeping up and then going across, and that's where our red line is. We have power and torque on the right, percent of that. We have our boost gauge. Our boost gauge there. On the bottom, we have how many miles we've done since reset, and then how many miles total. So, oh, there's the light, sorry, excuse me, the light buttons on the bottom. Our seatbelt buttons on the bottom, also the time. And then also the temperature outside, and then that should be our engine temperature, just a little bit more, they'll give you a numerical figure. Tire pressure is on the left, so we'll have it for each four corners. You'll have what the PSI is as well as what the temperature is, and you could switch that, I believe, to other units of measurement as well. We have our fuel up top, so how many miles we're able to do. Any warning messages are going to be up there also. And that's going to be just because I don't have the key in the car. It's going to be what radio station you're on, your phone pairing, as well as your navigation. So that's our view. So if we click out of view, so it's going to be just like it was in the S4 if you guys ever watched that video. If we zoom out, we have now, instead of the tachometer being the prominent feature, it's going to be here on the left. It's going to tell you what gear you're in. It's going to focus more on the car. So it's going to be the tire pressure. It's going to be also the car itself. So it's going to be the engine and the boost, as well as your miles per hour there on the right. Just a different way of looking at it. And then if we go to the right, so if you notice here, once I go to the right, that's where you could see which menu you're on. Actually, I think before we do that though, if I press this, there you go. So if I press this for the menu itself, we have trip computer. And then you can scroll between that, so you have your date and time, consumption, miles per gallon, Short-term memory, so you're driving your MPGs, how long you've driven for, you can reset that as well. Your long-term driving, any driver's assistance, so it'll tell you the distance of the car in front, since we have the distance for the cruise control, and then any traffic sign information that is available. Okay, and then we have sports display, so this is going to be your tire pressure here. If we scroll up, it's going to be our G meter. So you see some people have accelerated to 0.8 Gs, not too bad, 0.85 should I say. Lap times. So you could start by lap 1, and you start driving off, and that's how the lap starts. We could also do split time. We could also pause it or reset the lap time. Lap statistics. No lap statistics if we haven't driven on track yet, hopefully soon. Acceleration measure. So only uses function on closed road course. So here we can time it, so if we launch the car and we stay in it for long enough, we should be able to get 1/8 mile, quarter mile, 0 to 200 kilometers, and 0 to 100 kilometers recorded. Reduce display, so it's going to close out everything around the main display, which is going to be what you want to focus on, which is your revs, how fast you're going, and well, I guess what gear you're going to be in, since we have park right now. But if you put into manual and you put into manual mode, should I say, you're going to have the gear, what revs you're in, and your speed, which is exactly what you want to be driving on the track or when you're driving spiritedly. Do everything else. We have reset the miles, and that's really it for this menu. Do we have anything here on this side? This could be okay. And then if you want reduce display, it's going to be on the left and right. So if you keep reduce display, you have left and right is going to be your most prominent, which is pretty funny. So let's click out of that. Let's go to sports displays. There you go, looks nice. Click view, so we're back into normal. Okay, this is going to be your, so right now I have a warning message. Any warning message if you have low pressure light, low tire light, should I say, or if the key's not in the car, this is the warning light that you're going to get. If we can scroll there, no. Is there anything that we could switch here? No entries available. Okay, so nothing much there. A radio, so you can scroll through the radio stations here and click on there, and then also use this side in order to increase the volume or decrease the volume. Click the little menu here, we can switch to media. So we could switch to use USB or Bluetooth. There's USB. Okay, let's go switch to radio. Okay, so the last stations is there, your favorites. No favorites have been created. Your FM, AM, Sirius XM, or online radio is all there. Over to the right, this is gonna be our phone. We have nothing connected, but when you press the menu, we don't have anything for menu. That's our view, so we just have mobile in the middle, and you have your information on the left and on the right. So let's just go to the radio, and I'm guessing it's gonna be the same thing. Yep, so you have your radio there. It's a little bit more information about the radio, and then left and right is gonna be the most important information about the car. You have our navigation, which let's see if they're able to do it. I'm guessing, let me see if they updated it or not. We scroll all the way out. Yes, good job, Audi. You guys kept this in. This is awesome. All right, anyway. So here's our navigation. So we have a nice display here. Very crisp colors, and even though it's just green, red, the camera doesn't pick it up too much. It picks up like as if it's neon. It's not really neon. It just comes out very crisp on the display, but not so much on the camera. Press our menu here. We have map. Okay, just brings us to map. Our last destinations are there. Our favorites are there. Map orientation. So if you press that, you can have, is 2D heading up, 2D head up map, or do you want the 3D heading to be up? It's just different ways of how you want the map to be shown. Press return. Do you want the car to automatically zoom in when you're at an intersection or off, or just at an intersection, or when you're going to an exit? Map contents. So you want to show everything, 3D landmarks, 3D city models, favorites, points of interest, and everything is there selected. Okay, that's really it. We have for navigation there. I believe that should be it. And if we go to navigation, just to show you guys, we press view. So navigation we have on the left, or revs in the middle, and then power and torque on the right. Let's see what happens when we press RS mode. Ooh, that's pretty cool. So here, we'll keep it on the car. Okay, there we go, we have the car information, but let's go back to the view. So if you press RS mode, this is the view that you get. So you have the revs actually coming down into the bottom. It's an interesting way of looking at it. Okay, and that's the RS2. Oh, okay. Oh, that's RS1, and if you press it again, you go to RS2, auto, and there you go. So that's what the menus look like when you press the RS button. Okay guys, so the center menu and a lot to go over. So this is our this is the new main screen. So everything kind of resembles a mobile phone, right? So you have your Bluetooth connection here, volume, who's the person that's connected, your connection, what time it is. So you could also swipe down for any information kind of on your phone configuration, whether you can configure this car. Since it's a new car, you can configure it the way the customer wants. So you have settings here. And this is a, one thing I like to mention, one thing I wanted to mention is this is, although it's a touch screen, it's a haptic touch screen. So if you press it, you hear you hear that feedback. Volume there, we're just gonna stop that. Connections up there, so the phones that you want to connected. Settings, general settings, date and time, different formats, measurements and units, so kilometers per hour, miles per hour, distance, miles, kilometers, Celsius, Fahrenheit, volume, pressure, consumption. Reminder, so this lets you know, so do you want a signal tone or spoken cue when you leave your phone in the car? I'll also tell you about your charge level. Very useful information actually. The speech dialogue system, consent to online speech recognizer. It's funny stuff here. Version information, what version you're on. Legal notes, it's about Audi Connect, about the software information. So that's all probably gonna go online. Yeah, it goes online, so we don't wanna wait for that. And then your licenses are here, also online. That's what else we have up here. So if we press that, we go to add a user. So it's similar to the Mercedes, where you add a user. You could have multiple drivers here, and they could just select whoever driver. So if I'm driving, I'll select Chris, or if Steve's driving, press Steve, or Steve will press Steve, and then all those settings that Steve likes will be displayed on the screen. You have a little info button here. And you guys can read that. And user settings. Okay, so if we start off here, this is our main home screen, which switch between. So essentially we have a radio here. We show you what radio is playing. We go back here, volume, skip the track, telephones here, and also our navigations here where we could search. But if you swipe to the right, this is our main menu. We have radio, so you press radio, go to radio station, go back to the home button. We have media, so nothing selected, but we have online additional data, HD radio, Sirius radio, online stations, preferred, settings. Just so I didn't miss anything, let me see. No. Okay, and anything in settings? Nope, just the same sort of stuff that we went over before. Phone. Nothing's connected. If something was connected, we'd have settings there. Navigation, which is the same thing. There you go. We can search. We could search for a destination. Where would you like to go? And you have a little keypad that shows up here on the bottom. Or you could also say or enter the destination. You want north to be heading up, and then here we could have a quick select. Settings, so map settings, you want satellite map, traffic, map colors, meaning just automatic, or they switch between day and night, or do you want just day or just night, which is just makes it darker during the nighttime. Voice guidance, so do you want to turn it off? Do you want it just for traffic? Or do you want it to lower during a phone call? Route criteria, this is going to be your carpool lane, highway, toll, ferries. You want to allow those or disallow those when you're driving, when you're putting, excuse me, a destination in. You want route information to come up. Presentation mode. Okay, presentation mode, look at that. Okay, then we have our traffic information here. Traffic is online. We have our height and also the zoom, how far we're zoomed out. So we're zoomed out 600 feet and we're at 190 feet from sea level. Phone and apps. So this is gonna be your Apple CarPlay. Vehicle. So this should be some interesting settings here. So Audi Drive Select, which we could also use down here. So do you want the car to be in comfort, in which the suspension is raised? You can see how many bars are here. Do you want it to be in auto, where it changes itself, depending on the situation, or do you want it to be in dynamic, which the car is lowering itself now and go all the way down? And here you could select, this is what RS mode is used for. So do you want the drive to be balanced or sporty? The suspension comfortable, balance, or sport? Steering comfortable, balance, or sport? So you could select each mode. So you could have RS1 and everything is in comfort besides, let's say, the steering or the engine sound. Oh, I'm sorry, there's more here. Steering, engine sound, quiet, automatic, or present. And there's also quattro or sport differential. So depending how aggressive you want to drive. Do you want that just to be RS1, so everything's in comfort, but let's say the drive's in sport, or do you want RS2 to be everything is in, you know, the craziest mode, except for, let's say, the suspension's in comfort? So that's what your programmable modes are there, and then you could show you what level you're sitting at. Parking aid, automatic activation, volume for the sensors, so the front volume, the rear volume. Do you want the entertainment to fade when you're about to hit something? Rear cross traffic assist is there as well. RS monitor, so here you go. This is a very, very nice graphic. So shows you what your engine oil is, so that's blue, as well as the transmission, the sport differential, and the brake rotors. So this is to help you know when you're able to actually beat on the car. If it's cold, don't really go crazy with it. Warm, and then hot. So warm is probably gonna be green. That's great. If you're on a track day and you're overheating the rotors, they're probably gonna go into hot, then they're gonna go into red, into overheated. So this is a nice screen to have. Might as well have that, and then also the RS mode, just the information that you really need. See if there's anything else in here. Oh, there is. You also have your G meter here. So if you want just the main G meter to be here. Someone actually did go 0.9 Gs in acceleration. Okay, so I thought that was just 0.85, but it's actually 0.9, not bad. And you have also your tire pressure monitoring here. Efficiency assist, so accelerator pedal feedback, on or off. Predictive messages there as well, just for efficiency, so it'll tell you when to upshift in the gear. Your seats, driver's seat entry assist, so when you open the door, the seat will move back, and then when you close the door, it'll go to your preferred setting. But that's just to assist you in getting in and out of the car. Air conditioning, so heated steering wheel on or off. You can set the rear, sync, off, or AC max, that's all here. Also have settings. Which is interesting because you could set the footwell temperature for the driver and passenger individually. A very nice thing to add here. This is something I haven't actually really seen, just specifically for the footwell. That's really interesting. Light and visibility, so our exterior lights. I want lights to be automatic. Laser lights on or off, entry and exit lighting, interior lighting. That's gonna be red. Let's just see the red lighting here. Marine time is gonna be blue, that's the blue. Interior lighting, we also have it slightly up here. So it's almost, you can't even see it, that's actually where the ambient lighting is when you're normally just sitting there without having the light on. And then we also have Caribbean. And it's also drive select. So depending on what you select. You could also have it individual as well. Brightness is on, you could have it much brighter. So it really comes out. So let's see if we go to, there's also contour, vision, which is like an orange color, solar, which is more of an orange color. Again, impulse is that red, so that red really comes out really well. You can choose the brightness there. Do you want then different colors here? So and Audi very nicely later on that there's 30 different colors you could choose from. So you could choose green. That's just gonna be in the, where's the green light coming from? Ah, on the bottom, there we go. Okay, let's have it, I have it. So we could have Footwell as well. And you could change the different colors that are there. Start from purple, blue, go into green, yellow, red, and then white. And the lines, so that's the up top. Here we could choose it so we can have this also be green. So you can see there that choose to green. So green on slightly less green. Very nice graphics too. I really like the crisp graphics that they have here in the Audi now. They were good before, but now they're much more crisp. The resolution's higher. Driver assistance. Maximum, individual, or basic. I can show you there. How much do you want the driver assistance to intervene? So this would be for your speed warning, manual warning threshold, your traffic sign warning threshold, traffic light information. So if you're stuck on a red light, it'll start counting down how long until the red light turns green. Adaptive cruise control, assist, so lane guidance, store last distance, driving programs, predictive control, and curves along route. Oh, that's back. Distance warning. So it's going to warn you for 1, 2, or 3 seconds from your distance. Audi Presense. Off early, medium, or late. Side assist. Also had, I believe, one more down here. Yeah, our hazard information, if there's any hazards. And we go to the right, we have our settings and service, so service intervals. There we go, our integrated toll module. Air suspension for a trailer. For wheel change, you could change it if you want to change the wheel, and you just set the suspension to the air suspension wheel change, which is really, really nice. Garage door opener is here, vehicle information is here, tire pressure is here, oil level, and wiper change position. So if you want to change wipers, you just press this button and you're able to change all that very easily because the wipers will just move into their upright position. And we have no favorites there. Okay, and if we go to favorites, let's compare any favorites that we have saved. We also have our settings, general, which we went over before, our display and brightness, cockpit dimming, do you want to get darker. We also have our heads-up display. So if you see, there it is, there's our miles per hour. So you can change the height, the brightness on here, the display rotation also, display contents, let's see. So navigation display, so that would show up also your traffic signs if you want them, your efficiency assist, driver assist. So we have multiple things that could show up there. We'll see a menu here. We could switch the different, let's see. Okay, so if you want RS Sport, yes, change now. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, so you have this layout. We have our performance layout. Yes, there we go. Let's have our RS Runway. It's an interesting name, but there you go. So very cool. And you can configure those as well, depending on your drive mode and what else you want to add to the display. So this is much better because they usually just had them here on the steering wheel. You had to flip between them, but here you're actually able to configure what you want on the left and right and what you want in the middle, so you can mix and match them. So that's a new thing. That's really nice. Language and keyboard is here. Sound. treble subwoofer, balance fader focused, surround level is there, 3D effect, speed dependent volume control, system maintenance, users, nope, connection settings is there also, Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, entertainment, so it's the same thing as radio, navigation, telephone, data management. Any message that show up, it's going to be here, so no messages. Purchases, no purchases there, license, legal notes, the weather, if you want to get the weather of Audi. I have to check that. We have the weather there. News, excuse me, news. You load the news information. We also have calendar. Load calendar based on your phone, it looks like. Then we have here radio, so it's a dedicated radio. We have media, phone, and then navigation. And those really are our main menus. So if we come down here, this is where we have the AC and climate control. So we have our heated seats, our cooled seats, or ventilated seats. Ooh, that works really well. Actually hear the fans turn on. AC, press this button. That goes up to our heated seats. We could change the rear and also the AC max controls. That's what that button does there. We also have our off. Internal circulation, we also have the heated and ventilated for the passenger. And if we turn on the climate control, there you go. So we could increase the temperature. We can decrease the temperature. Oh, that feels really good. It's really hot in here. Press that button, you have the home address there and have just AC on the bottom. You have auto start stop on or off. We could go program the garage opener. We could open the rear trunk, heads up display, and also turn off the display or turn it back on. You have auto, and then you can select the different ways that it blows this way. Turn that off. Okay, so this is going to be our parking. So we have the front, we have the surround. If you want 3D, we just press 3D, and this is what the car looks like. Move that around, zoom in, zoom out. You could adjust anything you want to. So if you press a little slider, you could just quickly select the different sections, or different camera views, should I say. Okay, so we could go into just having just the sensors on, or we want the camera there. We have little settings here also. Camera view, do you want graphic view? This graphics or camera view. You have the front volume, rear volume, entertainment fader, and rear cross traffic, the same settings we went before. Set your parking, blank here, and then this button. We press, it goes through our driver's assistance, which we went through before, should I say. And these seats are, so just because we're looking at, and these seats are the sport seats, so we don't have the massage function, but we do have the heated and ventilated option. But if you chose just the regular seats, they don't look as cool, but you do have a massage function in them. And looking at the rear passenger seats here, we have, again, the frameless mirror like we had in the front seats, and checking out the door, we have that black with the brown leather. Here we have the same leather that we had in the front seat with that stitching going all the way across, just giving you guys a better look here. Very nice look. Metal trim, we have our speaker, also metal trim on the outside, metal door handle, and that carbon fiber weave that's there. We can see the individual fibers themselves. You actually feel them, which is very nice. Moving down, we have, again, with a metal trim. It's part of the door. Moving all the way back to the back part of the door, we have that faux leather, where we also have that suede Alcantara sort of material. Almost like a microfiber cloth in a way. Very soft brown leather here, where you can be resting, or your passengers can be resting their hands. deviated stitching going up. We just have the window up and down switch. That's in metal. We go down, we have some storage here. You can put a bottle or anything else, and a good amount of space. And again, faux leather on the bottom with the red reflector when you open the door. And our Bang & Olufsen speaker on the side. And a puddle light, of course, Audi Sport. Sitting in the back, guys, what we have is we have our cutouts for our feet here, or should I say my knees. But these are actually very, very deep. Interestingly enough, this is much deeper. I usually get just a small little divot, but this is actually very deep in there. Cargo net here to hold some materials, plastic backing, nice leather seats here. We have our hook here for clothes. If you want to hang some clothes there or shirts, you could have that there. This is very interesting. They have the AC vent here in the B pillar. You could turn that off or on and move it up or down, left and right. Up here, we have another hook, handle, and the door that we just went over. Our back console here, we have AC vents. We move them up or down, left or right, turn them on or off. We also have the screen here once we turn it on to adjust the temperature. We have two USB-C, so actually these, I like that they numbered them 3 and 4. So we have 1 and 2 in the center console and 3 and 4 back here, and another 12 volt. Nice quilted material here, which feels really, really nice. These are actually, I wouldn't say they're firm, but the shape of them is very, very strong. So when you go over them, you feel each of the hexagonals. So it's not that they're soft, but you feel every single hexagonal. Very, very cool. And of course we have our seats here, which kind of mold to where you're sitting, so they'll fit your frame. This thing, every time I look at it, looks like those droids from Star Wars, but it's the middle seat from the back. And then here we don't have an adjustable headrest here for the left and right passenger, only the one in the middle. And here we just press down, or do this. There we go, that comes out. Nice leather material here. We'll just press a little button, open that up. Nice felt material. Could put a little bit of storage in there. And then also we have our cup holder, so if we just press that, oh, always like these designs. So if you just press it, there comes the cup holder. Very cool. So they're all right there. Fold that up. Anything here? Nope. Just close it. We also have our interior lights. So if you just press those, they turn on. So we have 2, one for the right and one for the left. And that's really it, guys. And just to cover the rear here, so we do have our temperature, so we can decrease the temperature. The temperature comes up there, or increase it. You can set the fan speed lower or higher. Where do you want it to blow? So you see there, it just comes up on the screen. Very cool the way they have that done. And the reason that there's 3 is because we also have this one blowing this way. We also have heated seats back here. No cooled seat option. We can also turn this off, turn it on, and we also have the right passenger as well. Now we're going to take a look at the trunk. So walking up here, we're just going to open it up. Lots of trunk space with this Sportback partition up there. Taking a look inside, we have mats. We have, you can see just the struts, how strong they have to be just to hold up this entire trunk part here. Here's the partition I was talking about. So if we just twist this, comes down, so you don't have to have that attached. Just clicks into place and twist. It's a little part which just helps you get to the screws in the back. Nothing really else with that. Have our latch, trunk close and trunk lock. This partition that also moves out of the way, or you could take it out completely if you want to store some bigger items. If I can figure out how to put this back in place. Okay, we have this added mat here. It says 87, so you can RS7 one. Some cargo netting over here. Twist this over here. Cannot really open that there. We have a light, also a hook there. You could hook some groceries or something else there. You could fold the seats down. Have a light on the other side, and same hook thing for groceries as well, and a 12 volt in the back. If we lift this mat up, and the rear bottom hatch, should I say, Yeah, that spare wheel, we can fill it with that compressed air and that kind of slime that keeps it, or should I say just the air compression itself. So it comes with that slime that just holds the whole wheel together. We have hooks here to put the cargo netting. But a lot of space back here. As you can see just how deep it is, how wide it is there. A lot of space. And just close it up. And that's it. And there's our rear camera as well. And just to cover the passenger really quick, start a carbon material with the leather and the stitching. Metal door handle, metal trim, unlock and lock. We have that nice carbon fiber weave material here, which kind of angles down towards you. The black piano material here. Quattro, which little metal trim extends it all the way. That very, very soft leather. I'm actually very surprised how soft the leather is here. Okay, then we have a glove box, which we'll go over soon. Side leather here, and all the controls. So on the glove box, what do we have? Just information, booklets, customer copies, and more booklets. There's actually a good amount of space in there. Like a rubberized mat here. Very interesting. And a light. And if you guys are wondering what this is to take off your the wheel caps for the lug nuts, or the lug nut cap, should I say? And close that up. Okay, so what do we have here? Okay, so this is our window sticker, a 2021 Audi RS7, 4-liter V8 engine, quattro all-wheel drive, 8-speed Tiptronic with the 21-inch tires. There's your comfort and technology. Safety and convenience, as well as warranty and maintenance. This is our main. So we start off, the starting price for the Audi RS7, the 2021 Audi RS7 is $114,000. Our package options include the Sebring black crystal effect, which we do have a crystal effect in the paint, so very nice. Cognac with granite gray stitching inside, so that's going to be this stitching right here, and that's included. And then our black optics package, which I think is a must for this car, and it's going to be the optic exterior kit. So that's going to be the symbols, the mirrors, part of the diffuser. And then we also have our wheels and the summer tires. Executive package, which comes with the extended leather package. So that's going to be the dash, armrest, sills, and console, which is that really soft leather material. Heated rear seats, a heads-up display, power soft closing doors. So when you don't close the door all the way, it's just going to bring the door in a little bit. So if I open this a little bit here, and if I just shut it just a little bit, and there you go. I'm not sure if you guys heard that, so let me do that again. Okay. Driver assistance package, Audi adaptive cruise control or cruise assist with active lane assist, Audi side select, side assist. Our driver assistance package was Audi adaptive cruise assist with active lane assist, Audi side assist, rear cross traffic, Audi pre-sense rear, and also intersection assist and traffic sign recognition. Sports exhaust, which is definitely needed with the V8, is 1,000. Carbon twill structure inlay, which is very nice. I think it's definitely worth it. It's a little different take on just the lacquered carbon fiber. Red brake calipers, and these are the steel ones, not the carbon ceramics, which you can get an Audi guard protection kit, which is, I think, is just the back and also the front and the rear. Although in the back you have the A7 guard, so I think this is just the front inside the actual interior, and in the back they just kind of threw that in there. Destination charge of $1,045, so our total price is $125,950. Fuel economy, pretty bad. 15 city, 22 highway combined of 17 mpg. That is, you know, it is what you get, but it's a very awesome car. And that's it, guys. That concludes the interior in-depth review of the 2021 Audi RS7. I hope you guys really like this. I love showing you guys all the new tech, the new menus, the haptic feedback, all the different switches, seats, and all the new stuff coming out from Audi, which is really exciting. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll be able to bring more makes and models and different things out there. Show you guys all the different in-depth stuff and all the stuff that's new going on in the automotive world. For now, we'll see you on the next one.